Inter Miami, the Florida Panthers, and the Miami Heat with all of the biggest live events in sports. If it's happening in sports, it's happening right here on ESPN 106.3. South Florida's home for sports, presented by Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams. Drip Drop is engineered to hydrate faster and more effectively than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code RADIO20 for 20% off your first order. That's dripdrop.com, promo code RADIO20.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Jar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station. We interrupt our regularly scheduled program for this special presentation of Inter Miami Soccer on ESPN 106.3. The pink smoke is in the air. That means legendary goals.
Messi approaches. He goes left. Goal!
Heroic saves.
Back post save. Rios Novo stonewalled them.
Inter Miami Soccer is on ESPN 106.3.
Goal de Messi.
This is Pink Smoke. Here's Mike Rizzo.
Our Inter Miami Herons red hot in that Eastern Conference. Lionel Messi, according to Damian Perez, back in practice. Lionel Messi has not played in the last 2 Inter Miami games because of recommended rest time from FIFA. Obviously, Lionel and Rodrigo de Paul, 2 Argentinian Inter Miami players who were playing deep into the World Cup. And when I mean deep, they're in the Cup final. But Inter Miami, even without those 2 players, they've been able to get 2 results. 3-2 win Wednesday the 22nd against the Chicago Fire, and then a 1-0 victory in Montreal this past Saturday. Now, gosh, Germán Berterame, I mean, Damian, one of the my heart's out there with them. You know, obviously concussion-like symptoms. I mean, Damian, it looked like he had a seizure on the field too. It was really a scary moment.
Scary situation
for Germán Berterame. They lifted his legs up on the field. He got hit in the back of the head by one of the Montreal center backmen. Now, it wasn't intentional.
I would have been okay with the red card there. I understand it wasn't intentional, but, I mean, that was very late.
What I'm saying, I don't necessarily think it was dirty, but my goodness, he hit his head, and then Birdie's head smacked onto the ground. And, oh, man, you saw some of the videos, some of the scenes. And, folks, I was on the call for the game. I kind of knew that he had a seizure, Damian, like just from experience from sadly seeing that before at a sporting event. And I just didn't want to get anything wrong. I just had concussion-like symptoms. But Inter Miami, Damian, against the Crew coming up on Saturday. Now, I don't think Lionel Messi isn't going to be playing, but Gonzalo Luan, Maxi Falcone, David Aishala, Tadio Allende, Germán Berterame are going to be missing. And there's an opportunity that Inter Miami might be without even more players for more reasons of, international duty and stuff like that. There are a couple of things that are still going on internationally with some of our players in Inter Miami. So there's a chance Inter Miami might have less than 8 players on that bench coming up against the Columbus Crew. But I listen, in Guillermo Hoyos, we trust. I mean, Hoyos, since he took over for Inter Miami, has been fantastic. And Inter Miami on the road. Let's go through the road results for Inter because I'm just going to start calling this team the Road Warriors. Damian, obviously they won 1-0 against Montreal in their last one. They dating back to May 13th, 5-3 against Cincinnati. That's 2 road wins in a row. Toronto on the road 4-2, May 9th. 3, Salt Lake, April 22nd, 2-0. 4, Colorado, April 18th. 5, that's 5 road fixture. Dame, March 22nd, NYCFC. 6, that's 6 road wins. Inter Miami has been able to secure on the season already. I'm going to start calling the boys the Road Warriors. Now, I know we're at New Stadium coming up on Saturday. Columbus, who actually beat Cincinnati their last time out. Columbus, a team who right now in that Eastern Conference, they're on the outside looking in on the playoff race. That's very rare for a team like Columbus, but they did win the Ohio Cup 2-1. But Damian, Inter Miami, Guillermo Hoyos, a lot of juice there, man. And I think with all the players that are about to be unavailable for Inter Miami, I think it's just going to show his brilliance even more on the tactical sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, up to now, he's got it all right. I mean, I think the Ian Frey swap to center back has resulted greatly for him. Easy to say, but Casemiro had a great game, and just inserting him into the lineup for him to have the game that he had and look as comfortable as he did, you have to give some credit to the coaching staff for that. And also to rip the Band-Aid. I mean, to insert Rocco Rios Novos and take out the big signing in St. Clair and not start him after the World Cup, I think that was also a big call for him that he ultimately got right.
Now, Damian, wow, Rocco was, what was that, last Wednesday, the howler? Dude, that was one of the worst howlers I've ever seen. But he made up for it in that game, and I think he made up for it in Montreal. God, he worries me, though. Inter Miami needs a goal. Damian, I love Rocco. I appreciate the run that we went on with him to win a cup last season in the MLS playoffs. We need a goalkeeper.
Yeah,
dude.
and
we need a goalkeeper.
Coming into the season, I mean, you would have thought we addressed it signing St. Clair. He took a pay cut to come to Inter Miami, so it was a hand-picked destination for him, but didn't start off the right way, and I think that impacted his confidence, and now we are where we are.
Sadly, he was the starting goalkeeper, St. Clair, for Canada going into the World Cup a couple months before. And then he played, in my opinion, and, Jesse Marsh, who I love to call a phony, Jesse Marsh, the Canadian manager, I think he thought the same thing we all did, is that Dame wasn't in good enough form at Inter Miami to be the starter. Maxi Crepeau was the starter, who even he himself had a horrific MLS season for Orlando.
Right.
Now, this comes from Scotty Grays, who I could follow on X for Inter Miami, our guy Scotty Grays. Maxi Falcone, injured. Gonzalo Luan, injured. Tadio Allende, injured. Aishala, injured. Bertarame. Okay, those are the guys that are hurt. Damian Alexander Shaw could be on international duty. Santi Morales, international duty. Ian Frey, how about this one? Suspended because of card accumulation.
Wow.
Dude, now that I think about it, Ian, he's good for a card a game, brother, honestly. He's good for a card a game.
He has the Toto Aviles disease.
Well, listen, at least he's not picking up red cards. Toto picked up red cards. That's why he's no longer with Inter Miami. Telasco Segovia suspended as well, Damian. 2 guys suspended over card accumulation in Segovia and Frey. And then DePaul and Messi obviously won't be playing because of the World Cup rest. And Yannick Bright played in the All-Star game. Unavailable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Damian, that's 12 Inter Miami players.
You mentioned Rodrigo DePaul on that list?
Yeah, I did. Damian, 12 Inter Miami players who aren't going to be playing. And once again, our guy Scotty Gray's on X.
And that's on a short week, too, because Wednesday is the start of Leagues Cup.
Yeah, and I actually think Messi plays in that. Is it on the – actually –
No, it's at home.
He plays in that one. He won't play on the road. That's my best guess. You think Messi wants to play at Atlas?
Mexico.
That's Liga MX. Dude, maybe I'm dead wrong there. I think Messi would much rather play in Liga MX, and I'm at your mercy. I'm looking at Columbus's schedule. But I think Messi much rather San Luis, Dame. That's Mexico, you're telling me?
Actually, good question. Is it Mexico?
I truly don't think it is. I think it's probably
Atletico San Luis, Mexico. Yep.
Where are they at on that table? Oh, the Liga MX just started. They're 2 games in. They're 2 games into their season. And they're missing some guys too. I mean, I'm looking at San Luis. They're going to be without at least 5 players for that coming matchup. I don't think he'll play in Mexico. Is there a chance we don't see him at all? I don't think
that game would not be in Mexico. That would actually be at the new stadium on Wednesday. The first game for Leagues Cup, Inter Miami against San Luis. That's at the new stadium. So that, I think, to your point, it does strengthen the case of Leo Messi potentially playing in that game.
So I've debunked all of this. Inter Miami's next 4 games, Damian, are home.
Correct.
Columbus, San Luis, and then how about Monterrey?
Having that game at home is a big advantage.
So Monterrey, former Herman Berterame used to play for Monterrey.
Yep.
And obviously, gosh, Dame, I would have loved to see him go against his former club. I don't think he's going to be back by then. I'm speculating
He's
here.
in the building. He's in the building. I don't think he's training. But just to have him in the building, I think that's a good sign.
So yeah, League Leon, who is so Inter Miami is going to play 3 Liga MX teams: San Luis, Monterrey, and Leon. Inter Miami doesn't go on the road for another 16 days in Nashville. Now, Damian, my gosh, Inter Miami is going to be playing a lot of games. Bear with me here. August 1st, August 5th, August 8th, August 12th, August 15th, August 19th, August 22nd. So, Damian, that's 7 games in 22 days.
Wow.
7 games in 22 days for Inter Miami. I mean, that's what happens when you have it's a World Cup year, Damian. So, you missed 2 months of the season. You missed 2 months of the season. You're going to have to make these games up. But I hope my worry, Damian Perez, are the injuries. My worry is that Inter Miami, the one thing that could hold us back, because, listen, guys, I'm a homer. San Luis, Monterrey, Leon, we're better than these teams. And granted, it's football. Anything can happen. But I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better that these games are at New Stadium instead of in Mexico. And I think that speaks to Inter Miami's quality, is that they were able to have these games at home. They won the Cup last year. They won the MLS Cup last year. They were runners-up in Leagues Cup last year to Seattle. I think they deserve this. And Monterrey, I want to remind folks, I don't think Monterrey is what they used to be. Monterrey used to be a giant.
You look at that lineup, there is a few players. I mean, it almost looked like a European team like 2 seasons ago. But to your point, they have lost a lot of players. I will say, though, this is a good talking about Hoyos, this is a good thing that he was in the building at the youth system. And I feel like he's got a good grip of the youth players on the squad. I think the players with this stretch that's coming up and the injuries that Inter Miami has, players like Plembeck, player like Pinter, they're going to have a big opportunity to make an impact in this lineup. And a coach like Hoyos, who's seen them at the younger level, I think he has a good grip of this team when it comes to the youth in this team as well.
Now, Dame, in the Apertura last year in Liga MX, Monterrey finished 13th. 13th. I think Inter Miami, in my opinion, is the favorite to win Leagues Cup. I know historically the CONCACAF Champions Cup, Damian, is usually a Mexican team, right? Outside of a couple of years, I believe the LAFC, the Galaxy. But when it comes to Leagues Cup, I like to think that MLS teams play really well in it. And I think with Inter Miami not going far in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, I think they're going to go all out for this. And that's why I think Lionel Messi is going to play in some of these matches.
And another big advantage that these MLS teams have against the Mexican teams in League Cup is that majority of these games, if not all of them, are played in U.S. soil. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you have to make that trip to Mexico to play these games. They're going to be played here at home. So that's a big advantage, always playing here at home soil against a Mexican team. Will always give you a big boost.
Yeah, and when you look at Inter Miami and the quality that our Herons have, how can't they be the favorite? I was talking to Taylor Twellman, was talking to Jake Zivin. It's like Inter Miami's always going to be the favorite in every single game they're in on this side of the hemisphere. Like in the MLS, listen, I appreciate some of the seasons, these teams are having in the MLS on the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. I know Inter Miami, we're not leading our division. We're not leading our conference. That's Nashville. And you flip things on over to the West Coast, and you had the Vancouver Whitecaps, LAFC, and San Jose all with 33 points. To put things in perspective, Inter Miami would be leading the West Coast with 37 points. But all those teams, Vancouver, LA, San Jose, Nashville, Inter Miami, I think clears all of them. Did you see Berhalter got a move?
I did, yeah.
To the championship?
Yep, Middlesbrough.
Yeah. It's a club who's always trying to come up.
It's a big hit for Vancouver.
Yeah, I would agree.
But Inter Miami has a chance to position themselves first in the Eastern Conference. Their next game in the MLS is against Nashville, who just dropped points. Mm-hmm. So a big opportunity for Inter Miami to position themselves first in that Eastern Conference.
And both teams are at 17 games. There's no team with the game in hand. and the teams behind them, the Revolution at 29 and the Fire with 26. So a significant point gap between them and the third and fourth place team. Damian, I said, we'll talk about the news coming up later on in the program. Mauricio Pochettino going to be coaching the United States again. God, I love the move. I love that we were able to pull that off. Talk more about that later. But the point I bring it up right now, BJ Callahan, the coach for Nashville, if we didn't get Pochettino back, I would have wanted his name floated around for the United States gig. I think he's a great coach. I think he turned around that Nashville program relatively quickly last year. Obviously, with them going deep in the CONCACAF Champions Cup this year, I do think Nashville is a team that shouldn't be trifled with. I think they got a lot of quality. But I go back to what I said earlier. Anyone Inter Miami plays, there will always be the favorite on this side of the hemisphere. Now, can I go back to the Berhalter thing real quick? I need that kid playing in the Premier League. So whatever that pathway is, if it's going to Middlesbrough, if it's going on loan,
have to wait a whole season.
It's fine. Listen, help that team get promotion. If they now, I don't know the details of the contract. I don't know if it's multiple years. I'm at your mercy on that. I just saw Romano's tweet about a week and a half back. But with how he played in the minimal amount of minutes that he played in the World Cup, and I like his position too. He's a little do-everything midfielder. He's got a great shot outside of the box. He could defend.
He's a motor.
He could dribble. In the MLS, Berhalter had 6 goals in the short season and 4 assists.
And for the men's national team, I feel like any time he came in, it was an instant impact. He had a good World Cup.
Berhalter, 10 goal and assist contributions in so many games. Listen, go do you, brother.
Middlesbrough ended 5th in the table last year in the championship.
Now, Damian, remind me, weren't they cheating? Weren't they recording practice?
Middlesbrough?
There was something that happened in the championship last year where I think it was Southampton and Middlesbrough. Do me a favor, look this up. It was Southampton and Middlesbrough. One of the team was spying on another team. And there were hysterical memes out there of guys dressed up in camouflage. Oh, God. Dude, truly, football banter, I think, is the best in the world. And I'm pretty sure Middlesbrough and Southampton were involved in some kind of Spygate type of scandal where they were watching.
Southampton. They were actually charged over it.
And watching Middlesbrough practices, I think it was. It was either how funny is that, by the way?
Southampton admitted spying on a training session held by playoff semifinal opponents Middlesbrough. So it was in the playoff round. So this was to get to the Premier League. This is a big deal.
I knew it.
That's a big deal.
I knew it. I knew I was right on that.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but is Southampton in the Premier League next year?
Now, I do not believe that they played in the richest game of football, which is, Damian, you know how
No, they are in championship.
Yeah, the teams that came up this year, Hull City.
Ipswich, I believe, was one.
Coventry, Hull City, the Tractor Boys, and Ipswich.
They're all going straight back down, I think.
Now you sound like me.
Coventry opens the season against Arsenal, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Now you sound like me. Keep in mind, Damian, we had 2 household names in the Prem for the last couple of years, and Wolves and West Ham go down.
Actually, no. One of them's surviving because Wolves is going down. There's no way Wolves survives another season.
Wolves is already down. They're already down. What I'm saying is 2 household names in the Prem over the last couple of years, they just went down. So you're willing to double down that all 3 are going back down, knowing that 2, quote, Premier League teams went down last year.
If Wolves is already in the championship, then yes. That's the only team that could save one.
You want to know who I can't stand? I can't. Well, they're a rival, to be fair, but Leeds United, brother. I cannot stand
They're a scrappy
Leeds.
team.
Oh, I can't stand them. They're one of the reasons we weren't in the title race because we couldn't get a win against them last year. Now, once again, Coventry, Hull, Ipswich. Those are the 3 teams that are up. And
Ipswich was up, I believe, 2 seasons ago. Did not have the best campaign. I mean, that was the year that they had, it was Delap. They had a few players on that roster.
They did. They definitely did. Now, Dame, the richest game in football is one of my favorite games of the season. How the championship works to get up to the Prem, why I love a relegation system. The top 2 teams automatically go, Damian. But from 3 to 6, they duke it out. They play a semifinal, and then whoever wins the semifinal, they play in the final.
Final 4.
And they call the final the richest game in football.
Yeah.
because you're going to the Prem.
And that's
if you
how
win
much
the
the
game.
promotion means.
And that's how bad Southampton wanted to go. They were spying on Middlesbrough practices. Damian, the memes that were coming out of Britain of blokes.
What was the result of that game? Do you
dressed up as I'm pretty sure I'm shooting from the hip here. It's as simple as me going to FOTMOB, so let me do that. But as I'm doing that, Damian, I believe Southampton won, and by default they had to they had to change it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't have a team cheat and do all that. Yeah. So what happened was, or no, is this May 8th? I'm at your mercy, Dame. So yeah, Hull beat Middlesbrough. Southampton originally they canceled the game. I'm seeing CA. I believe they canceled the game.
Well, it wasn't just against Middlesbrough. They also spied on training sessions for Ipswich and Oxford. So this looks like a habitual thing.
They canceled the game. Then they canceled the game, and Middlesbrough won by default. And then Hull City won in the richest game of football, 1-0. And who could forget the Ollie McBurn goal in the 95th minute in extra time? Tell me you remember that goal.
Yeah, those games are always comes down to a dramatic moment at the end, I feel like, with the richest game in the sport.
Richest game in football, Dame. Do you want to hear the headline out of that? McBurney's stoppage time heroics seal Premier League return. 95-plus extra time goal.
Wow.
Damian, that's why this is the best sport in the world. I'm sorry, man.
There was a year, I believe it was Norwich, where it was a similar situation. The game was tied. They had a PK. I believe he missed it, and off that miss, it was like the 95th minute. Off that miss, the counter, they scored and won the game. Do you remember that? It was like 3 or 4 seasons ago. The most dramatic thing I've ever seen in football.
Missed the penalty. They go down, they score, and that's the game.
Yep. Game's over, and it was a tie game.
Yes.
So you go from potentially scoring a penalty and advancing, going into the Premier League, to missing it, and off that counter, you're eliminated. That's rough.
Best sport in the world.
Can't even script that.
Damian, are you worried about Inter Miami being injured right now? 13, once again, Scotty Gray's on X.
I'm worried, but at the same time, I mean, like you said at the beginning of the show, you got to put your faith in Hoyos. I think what he's done, what he's shown us, that he's got a good grip of this squad. We're on a 6-game win streak as we speak, and that's 2 games without Messi. I think the fact that Messi is back in the building training is huge, because at the end of the day, I don't care who's on that team. I don't care who's injured. As long as Messi is on that field, I'm going to always give Inter Miami a chance.
Now, Dame, I'm going to be a stickler. We're on a 6-game win streak on the road, but I believe we did drop a game.
No, it's a 6. It's a 6.
Hold on, brother. Is it?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Now it's split
4,
in half
5.
between the World Cup, but
yeah. So Dame, it's a 5-game win streak, but an unbeaten streak, Damian, goes all the way back. Inter Miami on an unbeaten streak. Keep in mind, brother, the only time they got beaten the MLS was against LAFC, the first game of the year.
and Orlando.
So we beat Orlando 4-2. So Orlando March 1, we won 4-2. We beat DC United 2-1 on the road. That's 2, Dame. 3-2 win against NYFC. That's 3. 4-5 Austin and New York Red Bull. Colorado 3-2. 6 Real Salt Lake. 7, 8 New England, and you're talking about the second fixture of Orlando.
Yeah,
now that
where we were up 3-0.
That's it.
And then from that moment, that's where Inter Miami is on that 6-game win streak with wins against Toronto, Cincinnati, Portland, Philadelphia Union,
Damian,
Chicago, and Montreal.
How could I forget that?
Yeah, that was the moment.
Remember do you remember what I said on the broadcast, 3-0? I called it game over. And I said, completely pathetic
the
by Orlando.
Jinx.
And then and then you want to know what happened? Martin Ojeda happened. Dude, Martin Ojeda was turning with the ball like he was Diego Maradona. Honest to God, the ghost of Maradona was turning on that pitch that night for Orlando. But to Damian's credit, 5-game win streak, 6 straight games won on the road for Inter Miami. I have so many people that ask me, Damian, Riz, when is Inter Miami going to hire a full-time manager? Why the hell would you do anything at this moment in time? Why would you change anything?
I almost forget he's interim. What's such a good job he's been doing.
Why in the living, you know what, would you change anything right now? Folks, Lionel Messi, Smith, Damian, and Fromrath have been serving injured people and their families here in South Florida for over 40 years. Visit foryourrights.com. That is foryourrights.com. They have main offices in Palm Beach Gardens. Your official ESPN 106.3 Inter Miami Radio Network lawyers are Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fromrath. Main offices in Palm Beach Gardens. Go see them today. Now, we have a lot to unpack once again on your Inter Miami injury report. Now, the boys that are actually injured for Inter Miami: Maxi Falcone, Gonzalo Luan, Tadio Allende, David Aishala, Herman Berterame. So 5 players injured. We're going to add in the players that aren't available for the game as far as international duty and rest because of Lionel Messi and Rodrigo de Paul. So once again, 5 players injured. Added onto that list, Alexander Shaw is on international duty. Santi Morales on international duty. Ian Frey and Telasco Segovia are suspended for card accumulation. Rodrigo de Paul and Lionel Messi are not playing in the fixture because of recommended rest by FIFA. And then Yannick Bright, Damian, played in the MLS All-Star game. He will be unavailable. 7 plus 5, I'm a public school kid, is 12 players.
This is a rough situation.
Damian, 12 players.
It's also rough because I feel like Luis Suarez, he's been doing a great job. I mean, he's been essentially saving us in the last few games, but it's rough to see him play 90 minutes back to back to back. So to not be able to give him a rest with all the players that are out, whether it's injury, suspension, or out in international duty, I feel like Suarez playing the 90-minute games can probably take a toll later on in the season. But I mean, he's flying up to now. So.
Dude, him and Bertie, God, Berterame getting injured. But Damian, him and Berterame, that dual strike partnership up top has worked for Hoyos. Now, in my opinion, Berterame has been playing more as a winger. Would you agree?
And Mascherano had retired Luis Suarez. Hoyos was the one that brought him back.
Would you agree, though, that Bertie is more like a winger in some of these setups?
It's like a 2-forward situation. But yes, I feel like Suarez is the more single, I guess, number 9 forward, whereas Berterame kind of floats right behind him. But the link-up play has been great between the two.
Been absolutely stellar, and you can only imagine how great it's going to get with Lionel Messi back in the fold, with Rodrigo de Paul back in the fold. And speaking of Rodrigo de Paul, Dame, I thought he had a great World Cup.
Yeah. And there was a lot of question marks going in, you know. He was one of the players that was on the verge, not of making the squad, but potentially losing that starting position in that Argentina squad. So to your point, this is good for Inter Miami when it comes to his confidence.
And to be fair, he didn't start in some games, but man,
it was tactical.
I would agree with that. And the group stage, he was absolutely incredible. No, I want to remind everybody, no one was good in the World Cup final. I mean, Argentina didn't score a goal. They didn't have a shot on target. And I think that stinks, but I don't know, man. That speaks how good that Spain, how good they matched up tactically with Argentina. Dame, I got to give you credit. You were right about every single thing that happened in that game. I'm still shocked that Argentina wasn't able to give it a good go, but that's now, folks, ancient history. I'll tell you what, if you need a ride down to New Stadium, if you need a car, if you need a dealership, look no further than your local South Florida Audi dealer. The Q3, the Q5, folks, brand new. Get one of them right off of the lot. You could test drive one of them at your local South Florida Audi dealer. Go to AudiUSA.com. Find a location near you. Find which one makes sense for you to go to. That's AudiUSA.com. Test drive a Q3, test drive a Q5, and pull into that lot. Pull into that lot at New Stadium and start turning some heads with the brand new Audi Q3 and Audi Q5. Let's pop around the MLS with Audi real quick. Inter Miami, obviously number 2 on that Eastern Conference table. They have the second most points within the MLS. Inter Miami sitting with 37 points, Nashville at 39. The Whitecaps in 33, Los Angeles, LAFC, with 33, San Jose with 33. So those are your top 4 teams on the Supporter Shield. But to take things a step further, the Eastern Conference 1 through 9, the playoff spots, Nashville 1, Inter Miami 2, New England 3, Chicago 4, New York FC 5, Charlotte 6, Cincinnati 7, New York Red Bull 8, DC 9. The teams on the outside looking in right now, Orlando and Columbus. Columbus playing our Inter Miami Herons coming up Thursday. 3 points separates Columbus and DC United. DC at 22, Columbus at 19. And Orlando City only 2 points off at 20. Going on over to the West Coast, the West Side, Western Conference, Vancouver at 1, LA at 2, San Jose at 3, Real Salt Lake at 4, Houston at 5, FC Dallas at 6, St. Louis City at 7, Seattle at 8, Minnesota at 9. Portland and the Galaxy on the outside looking in at 10 and 11. 2 points, 21 points for the both of them. Minnesota United sitting at 23. But once again, the top teams in the West, all with 33 points. Vancouver, LAFC, and San Jose. So, Dane, pretty top-heavy right now in the MLS.
Yeah, but there's a team that coming off of this World Cup break, I think is going to have a big second half of this season, and that's Orlando City. I think that Griezmann addition has been great for Orlando City. They've dominated in the last 2 games, and Griezmann has been able to find the back of the net. So that's a team to watch out for in that Eastern Conference, in my opinion.
Yeah, so to Damian's point, Orlando defeated Nashville with a Spicer goal, and then which we know that was the game winner in the 3-0 debacle. And then Griezmann scoring 2 games before that in the 48th minute. God, they eviscerated.
They're looking good.
They eviscerated the San Jose.
And they got the win against Nashville, who's the Supporter Shield. They're number 1 in the Supporter Shield's table right now.
Can I say something?
What's that?
I'm happy we played them twice already.
Yeah, got it out the way.
Got it out the way. They're going to be a hot team.
This is a team we'll probably see in the playoffs, though.
It's a good shout, Dame. 888-760-3776. Once again, that was Around the MLS with our good friends at Audi. AudiUSA.com to learn more. Test drive the Q3 and the Q5. Go to AudiUSA.com to find out where the nearest dealership is to you. When we come back, we'll continue our MLS talk. We'll touch on maybe some transfer news around the world within other big leagues in world football. And we'll touch on Mauricio Pochettino signing a big deal with the United States on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
For 40 years, Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath has stood up for clients in South Florida communities. If you've been injured, their experienced attorneys across South Florida are ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients. There's no cost for a case evaluation and no fee unless they win. Visit foryourrights.com. That's foryourrights.com. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fraunrath. Proud supporters of Inter Miami FC on ESPN South Florida. Main office in Palm Beach Gardens.
The Summer of Audi sales event is here. The finesse, the precision, and the power. We know the sound of performance when we hear it. Game recognizes game.
Need an extra boost? With Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union, you can earn up to $700 each year with a 7.0% annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's real money for real moments, like a family getaway or treating yourself to something special. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Whether you need batteries, tires, or services, we know you depend on your vehicle. You can depend on St. Lucie Battery and Tire. With the largest inventories, expert technicians, and the best price out the door every day guaranteed, you'll drive away with confidence. Life doesn't stop, and neither should your car. St. Lucie Battery and Tire is here for you. Our experts keep your vehicle ready with batteries, tires, and service you can trust. Fast, friendly, and always reliable.
Hi, I'm Wendy Sartori-Link, your Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections. The 2026 primary is on August 18th, and now is the time to make your game plan. Florida is a closed primary state, which means if you want to vote in a party's race, you need to be registered with that party at least 29 days before Election Day. Don't wait until the last minute. Check your registration and get election ready today. Visit votepalmbeach.gov to get started. That's votepalmbeach.gov. See you at the polls.
Since 2006, EDS Air Conditioning has kept Palm Beach County comfortable through every summer, every storm, and every season in between. EDS Air Conditioning is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. From dial thermostats to today's smart home systems, EDS delivers reliable comfort you can count on. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, they've earned your trust. 20 years of keeping Palm Beach cool. Visit EDSIsYes.com today.
Hey, it's Steph Prince here, and in South Florida, you need an AC team that can deliver in the clutch. That's why my family trusts Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning. As a mom of 3, trust me, when your AC goes down, you don't want to strike out with the wrong company. You want a team that keeps the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps the family cool. And Bob Bradley knows a thing or two about coaching a winning team. He coached his son Bobby all the way to becoming a first-round draft pick, and now he's helping his grandson Trey develop his game. And one thing's for sure, high standards run in the Bradley family. Bob brings that same major league mindset to the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning. From residential and commercial repairs to installations, maintenance, and upgrades, they step up to the plate and get the job done right the first time. And while Bob waits for Trey's call to the majors, he's still delivering major league service every single day right here in South Florida. Call Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning today at 561-793-7497 or visit bradleyair.com.
Well. Looks like your well water could use a little help. If you're dealing with hard water, funky smells, or water that just doesn't taste right, it's time to make your well water swell water with Culligan. Their customized water treatment system